Today is finally the day. Most dramatic thing ever, but I am so excited. Tryst 6 Venom is out. I think I'm saying that right. I think it's Tryst 6 Venom. It's officially out by my favorite author ever, Penelope Douglas. So I just downloaded it on my Kindle. It says it's gonna take me 9 hours and 26 minutes to read. So that's a thick book. The first female book that I've ever read before, which I mean, how fitting that it's gonna be from my favorite author. And I'm just genuinely so excited. So I'm gonna vlog all my thoughts. There are gonna be spoilers in this. I can't vlog without doing spoilers because I feel like, I don't know, I want to be able to give my live reaction. So there are going to be spoilers in this video. Okay, check-in day 2. So yesterday I never got around to reading whatsoever because let me tell you, a couple of things happened and then we'll jump back into the book because I just got home from the zoo with my nephew and now I'm like changed, I'm cozy, and I'm ready to read. Yesterday just like completely got away from me between working like my normal job and then we had to record. If you don't know, I do have a podcast. It's called Popcorn Chats. You can stream it anywhere that you get your podcasts. With one of my friends, we talk all things movies and TV. And we had to record our episode last night, so I didn't get around to reading it all. But just the really exciting thing that happened to me yesterday, I was about to take a power nap after work before I recorded. And I don't have a book Instagram where I like post things, but I do have an Instagram that I like follow all book related accounts on that's like separate from my personal one, just because I like being able to just like log on to that and just be able to see everything about books. So I was just casually scrolling through everyone's stories like I do. And I'm on Jess's story from Jess from Peace Love Books. And I'm clicking through her story, seeing what she's reading, seeing what she's up to. And I'm like, that's me. That's my channel. And I guess I had popped up on her YouTube recommended page and she like took a screenshot of scrolling through my videos and was like, I'm gonna binge Michaela's videos. And I was like, what the hell? Like that was just, it was so cool. Jess was one of the first 2 booktubers that I ever started watching back in 2019 when I first found out about like romance as a genre. It was her and Lovely Like Laura that were the first 2 booktubers that I ever started watching before. And so then the fact that she like even found my channel and like knew who I was and then watched one of my videos, I was like, what the hell? And then the fact that she took the time to like share that out with people, like, I just thought that was so cool. And it was just like a really fun moment because I don't do this. Like, this isn't like a job for me. I treat like the book stuff that I do on TikTok and on YouTube, like as my own self-care. Like I just do it for myself because I love talking about books and I love sharing books. And on my TikTok, I do book paintings and like book art. And that's something that I did before TikTok, but now it's something fun that I can like share with people. And it was just like a cool moment for me because I don't like post about this channel like in my personal life. Like I don't really talk about it in my personal life. So I kind of like just being in this little community, but like I don't really like know anyone in the community. I just kind of like do my thing. It was just a cool moment. So again, that has nothing to do with this vlog. And I'm sorry, you can totally skip past all of this. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me. Fuck that. Oh yeah, the cats are gonna be interested in that now. Mr. Dorian likes to hang off of this. And I'm like, can we not do that? I said it was just super, super nice of Jess to do that. Cause like, no, like she didn't have to. So that aside, I'm super pumped to get into Tryst 6 Venom. So let's finally get into it and get rolling because I'm ready to have some Clay and Olivia in my life. So I'm about halfway through Tryst 6 Venom now and I'm loving it. I am really fucking loving it. I think the chemistry and the tension between Clay and Olivia is just, it's perfect. I think Penelope Douglas does a bully romance so well. Like, I mean, hence bully. I just think that it's written very well and I'm really vibing. I mean, Olivia's my favorite, but here's the thing with Clay. I really like Clay and I know that she is like horrible. Like hello. Okay. You're gonna be in the frame. Actually, I shouldn't say that she's horrible. She's not a horrible person, I don't think. She does horrible things and she says horrible things to Olivia that I'm like, inexcusable. However, I can't help but kind of make excuses for her because I just really. I can't get any peace anymore, guys. Clay is a character. Okay, here's the thing. I can't help but always be drawn to the really like broken, sad, damaged character that lashes out at people, and like I just want to nitpick their brain. Like I can't help it. And she's really just giving off those vibes for me where I'm like, I want to crack her head open and like learn why she is the way that she is and why she does the things that she does. And I can't help but always want to see that. And the interesting thing with Clay is that I feel like we always get that in male characters. Like we always get the brooding, damaged bad boy who lashes out at people, but then he has a soft spot for the one girl. And like, I always make excuses for them too, and I'm finding myself doing the same thing with Clay, and I'm just loving it. I'm loving seeing it in a female character because we don't get that a ton. A lot of times the female characters are a little more perfect, or they're like they're flawed. I shouldn't say they're perfect. Female characters often are flawed still, but they aren't flawed in the way that Clay is. Like all of her traits, I feel like we see a lot in male characters, and I'm really vibing with the whole thing. I'm really liking Clay. So I just really love this cover too. I think Penelope Douglas has great covers, and I love the font on this one. If you don't follow me on TikTok, that's fine. I don't make like book recommendation videos or like vlogs or anything or reviews on there. I just do painting videos for book quotes. I think for my painting for this one, I'm gonna do like an ombre, like these letters in this color scheme, and then do black, white, and gray font on it. I think it's gonna be really pretty. I'm like really inspired by this cover. So I finally went and bought a new router today. I have spent all night. I got off of work at 4. I literally shut down my work computer and tried plugging in this new router. It is now currently 8:21. My parents just left here because I had to call my dad because I'm like, I need your help, even though I don't know what you can do because I'm following instructions, but I need you to try. Anyways, long story short, this was gonna go up on a Wednesday. It's not gonna go up on Wednesday tomorrow. It's probably gonna be up on Thursday. I'm sorry for my uploading schedule this week. I promise my Banned Forbidden Taboo will be up on time because that one's already done. And just the thing that I love about this book so far, and the thing that I love about Penelope Douglas, is that inside of her romance novels, there are other relationships and other characters and other plot lines going on outside of the romance. I feel like some romances get so stuck in just the two characters and how they always interact, where with this, we have like Christian, and we have like some of their lacrosse teammates. We have Clay's mom, a little bit of Clay's dad. We have Olivia's 5 brothers. Like we just have other characters interacting, and these characters, like their just worlds are enriched on their own, and that further enriches their world together, which I just appreciate. I feel like it really just connects me with the characters more. I'm really liking Olivia's brothers. If Penelope Douglas ever wanted to do something with the brothers, I'd be intrigued. Except, okay, y'all, is his name Macon or is it Mason? Because it looks like Macon, like bacon, but with an M. But I'm like, that's a stupid name. Is it Macon? Macon? What's Macon? What's shaking, Macon? I'm stupid. I'm done. I think it's interesting too that they're bringing up virginity and how Liv is like, it's all just a concept. Like, why is it so hyper fixated on in women? And I don't think I've talked about that on this channel before because I don't think it's really come up. But I know I've talked about it on my podcast, Popcorn Chats, that I co-host with one of my friends. I know we've talked about that. I can't even remember what episode it was, but I know that on some episode in that we've talked about the concept of virginity and like how absolutely stupid it is and how there's so much pressure on women to like remain pure, or like there's such an emphasis on virginity for women, but not for men. And how Clay has talked about that, or how we're seeing that through Clay a bit too, and how Olivia's like, literally, what the fuck? Why is this even a thing? And I love that. I really like that Liv and Clay are really exploring sexuality together, especially Clay, because I mean, like, Olivia's experienced, but I really like that Clay is having these experiences with Liv, and it's just like their chemistry is just so good, you know, like these scenes between them, just you can like feel the connection between the two of these characters, and I'm really fucking loving it. We are finishing this book today. I've been trying to sit down and read. I just haven't really had time. I did some reading last night in Tryst Venom. I have about an hour left, so I'm gonna finish today. The note that I wanted to make last night, but I was like comfy in bed, so I didn't get on to make this note, was that I'm really enjoying the constant kind of back and forth with Clay and Olivia in terms of their relationship, that it's not following the traditional kind of romance pattern of like, let's even go with like a bully romance. There's like the whole bully dynamic at the beginning, then it's like, oh, they figure out that they like each other, and then they're together, and then there's some incident, and then they get back together. You know, it's kind of like that standard format. With this, they haven't really had like a honeymoon period at all, and it's been constant back and forth, and they haven't really ever been like, we're together, which I'm liking in this case. I think because the gravity of their relationship is very different from like a lot of the heterosexual relationships that you read in like male-female books, where in this case, there's a lot of gravity to the relationship for Clay and a lot that she has to come to terms with in herself, and also the gravity of the relationship for Liv too. Let's lay down here because my arm was getting tired because I'm a lazy bitch. There's a lot more to the relationship for both of them than them both just deciding like we like each other and we want to be together. There's a lot for Clay to come to terms with in terms of her sexuality and her family and how that affects her entire life, and her just coming to terms with it herself. And then for Liv too, you want to say hi? Dorian. Okay, are you gonna move so mom can finish talking? You're gonna stand right here. You're gonna stand right there and say hi. Do you see yourself, you handsome boy? Okay, you can stay here. I'll pet you. You just gotta let me kind of be in the frame too. Okay, bye. Well, don't moon everyone. That's not appropriate. And same for Liv too, just how with her family and Clay's family and kind of like the class system that's set up with her, and is it Sonoa? Excuse you. Wherever, like the bay where she lives, and then how when they cross the tracks to like where Clay lives, and how like Clay and all of the rich people of this town are trying to demolish their land and basically force them all out. And so that's like a big deal for Liv to accept Clay, and there's so many extra dynamics into this relationship that I'm just fucking vibing with. I love Liv. Like, Liv is by far my favorite, but I really, really like Clay's character. And I can't help but just feel for her. And when she went to the one, like, coroner's place and laid down on the table and she thought about death, and the last sentence of that chapter was like, will I be alone? Like, fuck, that just hit. And I really like Clay in that moment, sitting there contemplating death and being like, what is the point of life if I'm miserable, and then in the end if I end up alone anyways? Like, really, there's so many layers that Penelope has built within these characters and within this book that it's just such a rich story, and A+. Okay, so I already saw that Penelope said that she doesn't have any plans right now for any more books in this world. But this scene between Liv and, is it Macon or Mason? I swear, whatever, the oldest brother, where she's having a panic attack pretty much and she's crying and she's on the floor, and he comes over like, I want stories with all the brothers, but I want a story with him. I think that this scene, it's just like so heartbreaking. It's making me emotional. Olivia escorting Clay at the debutante ball. It got me a little teary-eyed. It's just a really touching moment. And then when Clay is fully like, I don't care, you know, this is what makes me happy and this is what I'm gonna do. And how she recalls that her mom was like, not many people get to feel what you're feeling and are lucky enough for that. So she's like, if I'm lucky enough for that, then I'm gonna embrace it. And I'm like, yes. I love these two characters together so much. We haven't really seen much of like the school's reaction so far because granted I'm just at the debutante ball, but Clay coming out to her mother, that was a sweet moment and a good scene, and her dad like accepting it too, that was nice. And so I liked getting those moments. We'll see how the rest of the book pans out. But I did like that along the way. Now, granted, as I say all of this, I'm not a part of the LGBTQ community, so I can't speak on if this is like an honest representation or the people feel like this was well represented. But from an outsider's perspective for this, I I think that there was weight attached to Clay coming out and how we saw how Liv was sometimes treated, and that it wasn't just Clay was all of a sudden like, I'm gonna come out and everything's gonna be great and everyone's gonna love it and nothing's gonna change. Like that there was weight attached to it. I got some buddies. Oh, Miss Aria. So cute. I mean, I love a little moment of peril. I'm always down for a little moment of peril in a book, especially then when the love interest then has to run and rescue. In this case, Clay didn't necessarily like rescue Liv, like she got out, but then when she went in and cut Milo's face. I love that we got Clay being a badass. I really love Clay. I liked that moment. I mean, Callum and Milo scum. I don't really think I need to like dedicate any more time to them because trash. I feel like that's an obvious statement. And once again, I just love Liv's brothers. I want a Liv's brothers spinoff. Okay, I just finished Tryst Venom, and I still think Birthday Girl is my favorite standalone, but I think this is right behind it. And my second favorite standalone of Penelope's. This was so good. I'm so satisfied with the endings. Normally I don't like an epilogue. I like the epilogue here because I liked getting to see them 4 years in the future, because with them being in high school, like I wanted a little bit of extra time in the future with them. And especially the scene of Clay asking Megan if he could is it fucking Megan? Whatever. Mason? Asking her brother if he approves of her and Liv marrying. That was just cute. I did like the part here when they talked about Callum and how it was revealed that he and Dallas had a fling like last year or something. And that was just interesting here. And Olivia had a line of like how villains are more complicated than you might want to originally think. I am very drawn to the villain, and I always have been ever since I was a young child. That started with Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader at like the ripe age of 10, and I've just loved villains ever since. And I always just want to like root for the villain, and I love cracking open a villain and seeing why they are the way that they are and trying to like find reasons for their actions. And I think they're more fascinating to read and watch. So I did like that line in here. Granted, I don't like Callum and I don't need a redemption for that man, but I do see, you know, again, like he's hurting just like everyone else is. And he lashes out just like Clay does. I mean, he's a lot more extreme than Clay does, and he really hurts other people, but like Clay's actions also hurt other people. Anyways, like all I'm trying to say is that like everyone hurts, and hurt people hurt people. I thought it was nice that at the end they also like ended up including Amy in their prom plans. Did I really care about that? Not necessarily. Amy, you kind of suck, but I mean, it was nice to see that Clay and Olivia, you know, are better people than I am. I liked how it wasn't so focused on after Clay came out of being like, oh, and everything changed. You know, and again, and I'm saying this as a straight person, so granted I can't speak from like an authentic experience that Clay and Olivia had, but I did like that it wasn't all like, oh my goodness, and then the next day they went to school and it was like pandemonium. You know, it was just like the next day we went to school and we walked in together and we ate lunch together, and then like slowly we just got integrated into our group again. And I liked that it was more just like, this is how it is now. I just feel like this was so satisfying from beginning to end. Everything that I could have wanted out of it, I feel like I got, and I don't really have many complaints. It's 5 stars from me. Next week, I will have my Banned Forbidden Taboo reading vlog part 2 out, and I'm excited for that one. I've had that one done for a while, so I'm excited to finally like have it out. I will see you all when I see ya.